What is up, guys? Firefly here today, and we are back playing some more of my favorite game, Space Engineers, standing on top of one of my probably favorite ships, the Panther long-range railgun ship. And this build definitely came from the game Dreadnought. Well, not itself, but the inspiration for it did, because the artillery cruisers caught my attention on their railguns, how they were basically one giant ship with one giant railgun strapped right in the center of it. No armor, no defenses, well, barely any. I do have a couple interior turrets on this one, if worse comes to worse. But as you can see here, with the view of this, this is one gigantic rail gun. This build it does include the small ship mega mod, as you can tell by the small gravity generators all over it, and the interior turrets being put on a small grid. And if I do not say that, this is entirely a small grid build. My favorite thing to do with this build, it doesn't work all the time, but I do run this railgun with the speed of light mod, which will be linked in the description below, to make the projectiles go extra fast, which in theory should do double damage. I have had some difficulties with that though, because the projectile just seems to go straight through anything I hit. But hopefully that won't happen. So without further ado, let's jump right into the ship. I have the control seat here, pretty nice tucked away. You got a decent view right out the center here. So going to tab number 1, this is basically all your basic controls, where you have like your hydrogen controls, your reactor controls, thruster controls, turret, antenna, door above you controls, all the basic stuff that you'll need. You go to tab number 2, and this is where the heavy guns come in play. So 5 and 6, those are just some backup in case the timers fail, which I have never had happen. 8 and 9, those are for decoys and the welders. I should mention that this does use a couple extra mods, one of which is micro tools, and that also includes small ship mega that I may have already mentioned. But 1 and 3 are probably the most used ones here. Number 1 obviously is your camera view for the gun, so you could obviously line up on your targets. Number 3 is where you actually launch the railgun. So, let's try that one more time. Charge it up, get it going. I use the Gatling gun because grinders on small grids don't really work that well. And there we go. That was a confirmed hit. Something is spinning off to the side there, and it looks like we did some heavy damage to that thing. It's missing half of its hydrogen tanks. Yeah, this thing would be in quite critical condition. So, this is my favorite build. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link to its workshop page in the description below. Be sure to give it a rating if you like it, so that I could get a little more interest on some of my builds. I have made a few of them, but hoping to see you guys liking it and testing it out. If you have any questions or comments that you would like to ask me about this build, if you do not know how to do something, just feel free to ask me in the comments or anywhere else. Thank you. I will see you guys next time. Adios.